In this video, I'll be doing a demonstration of how to make a flowchart using Google Slides. So I'm starting off here with just a brand new Google Slides. Usually you have a title and a subtitle. I'm just going to go ahead and delete those two parts. I'm going to recreate the How to Wake Up for School example from the programming module. Of course, we want a title on our flowchart, so I'm just going to go ahead and put a text box on How to Wake Up for School. You can change the font, you can change the size, everything like that, just like any other Google slide. Right. So for the most part, to do these flowcharts, we're going to be using the Shape tool up here. So we go to Shape and then Shapes. And this bottom section down here, this third group, we have Flowchart tools. So there's Flowchart Process, that's the rectangle. Flowchart Decision, that's the diamond. And Flowchart Terminator. Terminator is the start of the finish. So I'm just going to go ahead and click on that, and then I drag to make this little oval. And so in the How to Wake Up for School flowchart, we say, well, your alarm goes off. All right. Now you can you can center these, you can change the font, you can change the background color. There's a lot of customization possible. So I'm just going to keep it basic for now. So my alarm goes off, and so when my alarm goes off, I've got a decision to make. And so I choose the decision tool here, and I'm going to line this up. And the question is, were you dreaming? Right. Now you'll notice that it does some weird line wrapping and stuff, so you can resize this to fit the text as appropriate. So were you dreaming? And so you have two options, right? So were you dreaming or not? Now this is a flowchart, meaning that we're going to start here and then we go to the next node. So to represent that, we use this arrow tool over here. So we have line, arrow, elbow connector. We actually want to use arrows for the most part. And so I click the arrow tool. And now when I mouse over this terminator, there's the purple circle. So I click that and I drag to this one, and you'll see that it does the arrow. Now if I move this around, it follows it, which is pretty cool. So there we go. All right, so alarm goes off, or are you dreaming? So there's two options, right? If I'm dreaming, then I'm going to do one thing. If I'm not, then I'm going to do another. So these are processes. So I'm going to go over here and go to Flowchart Process. And so on this side, I believe it says begrudgingly drag thyself, or remove thyself from bed, I believe is remove thyself from bed. All right. Now, again, I'm going to use this to line up the text. And then you'll notice that Slides does some handy, it kind of helps me line these up nicely. And so again, I'm going to use my arrow tool, click here, drag over to the other purple one, and then it connects them. If I move this around, you'll notice, oops, it's not connected. So that happens sometimes, at least for me it does. That means I didn't actually click on this purple circle right here. And so now if I drag over, then theoretically it should follow it. There we go. Not that that matters a whole lot, but it can be useful if you're working on a really big flow chart. You want to be able to move stuff around. Okay, because remove thyself from bed. Now, of course, this only happens if the answer to this question is no. So I've got to put some text to say that this is no. So I'm going to use a text box right here, and I'm just going to say no. I'm going to resize that text box and put it right above this arrow so that it's clear that this is the no side. Okay, so I get out of bed, and then I get to the end of this particular side here. So I put another terminator right here, and I get out of bed, and then I go to school. Or, yeah. And so again, we've got to align that, and I'm going to do another arrow tool. All right. And so you'll see that that's a little crooked, so no problem. I'm just going to line it up and make it straight. Now, just for demonstration purposes, let's say there's maybe a shortage of space, and so for whatever reason, I want to put my next process down here. So was I dreaming? Yes, I'm going to finish the dream. Hit snooze and finish the dream. Okay, now this isn't a straight line to get from this corner to this corner, and so for this we can use an elbow connector. And so I click elbow connector, I click this purple circle, and then I click this. See how it just automatically corrected itself? Now it doesn't automatically put the arrow, and so right here I choose the line end, and I'm going to pick an arrow. And so now this is connected. I can then do text and say, yes, this is the yes side I was dreaming. Okay? And so a finished version of this might look kind of like this. Right? And so pretty simple flowchart. Hopefully now you have a better understanding of how to create a flowchart using Google Slides.